Welcome everyone to another episode of Lightroom Editing Tips. My name is Ted Kalsar, and today I'm going to talk about Lightroom AI-based masking. Lightroom masking has considerably changed the editing digital images a lot. However, last year when Adobe introduced the AI masking, it has been a game changer in many, many ways. In this short video, I discuss how to use the AI-based masking, and the most interesting thing is how to create a smart preset that you can apply to other images without spending time and doing the same steps over and over. To get started, let me introduce you to this photo that you can see here. Usually, when we take pictures, landscape pictures actually, the sky is too bright and our subject is a little bit darker. In this picture, the subject, the yellow or orange leaves, they are good. The exposure is good. But the sky is too bright. It lost its color. So what I'm going to do, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the exposure a little bit. Again, the sky is not the way that I wanted it to be. So I go to masking, select sky. The AI picked up the sky. You can see it in that red overlay color. Of course, you can change the overlay color to whatever color that you prefer, but in this case, red works good. Now that the sky is selected and you can see the masking here, I can drop the exposure. That looks good. And of course, I can do other adjustments, such as I can increase the white a little bit, and I can increase the saturation. So with just one click, the image is turned from this photo to this photo. As you can see, the tree, the leaves didn't change any exposure or color, but the sky has definitely changed a lot. Again, here is before and after. That is not it. You can use the AI-based masking for many other interesting sessions. So next image is another good example. When we take landscape photos, usually the foreground is quite dark and the sky is washed out. It's because of the differences in the contrast. Now, in this case, rather than doing any editing, I'm going to go directly to masking. I'm going to select sky. So you can see the sky is selected. I'm going to drop the exposure of the sky. That looks good. And then next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to use the dehaze. As I mentioned previously, when using dehaze, be a little bit careful. Do not overdo it. So that is good enough. Because it's a cloudy, then clarity makes separation between the cloud. Now I have a beautiful sky from empty white sky to something that there are some textures, some details. Now, I want to make the foreground brighter. Thanks to the AI-based masking, I can click on this hamburger menu or three dots duplicate and invert mask. So what it does, Lightroom duplicated the same mask, but inverted. So rather than changing the sky, it's going to change the foreground. Again, I'm going up to the exposure. I'm going to increase the exposure. Then shadows, I'm going to open up the shadows. Going down, I'm going to add more saturation. And in this case, a little bit of texture will do the job. Now, here is before and after. You notice that this two clicks, one for creating the sky mask, the other one to invert the mask, can change a lot. Now, of course, you can go and adjust whatever adjustments that you wish to do, but since I'm going to make a, presets, I'm not doing any extra settings here. Rather, I will come to the presets tab, click on the plus sign, create a preset. In this preset, because you can do the normal presets or you can have the AI based presets. The AI based, you know that you use the AI, and for instance, if you select the sky, the presets will select the skies in other images, regardless of vertical or horizontal composition. So that's why I suggest to put AI for the name of the preset, AI first. And then in this one, because I darken the sky and brighten the foreground. Now that I named the preset, I don't want to apply any of these changes. Lens correction is something that you always want to have. I want to apply masking. And look at that. You can select which masking you want to use. Do you want to use just the mask one inverted for the foreground or mask one that was for the sky? I want to use both of them because here I mentioned AI darken sky, brighten foreground. So I need to use both of them. So I'm going to create that one. Now, if I go to another picture, you can see the presets is already here. If I go to the next photo, all I need to do is I need to create the same masking. Did you notice that when I came here, it applied the same masking? Let's just click on that. And if I go here, see, I have these two masks ready for me. Now, you may say, oh, I want to make the foreground brighter or darker. No problem. Just click on the mask, then it opens up your exposure so you can adjust it to your liking. Now, this is not it. Again, you can do more with that. In this example, the foreground, I want to make this part of the foreground darker. I want to make the sky darker, and I want to make this part of the image brighter. Now, it's a little bit of challenge because if I, first of all, I can do the same thing. I can go to sky, it will pick up the sky, and then I'm going to drop the exposure of the sky and going down, increase the saturation for the sky, and then probably doing a little bit of dehaze again. And clarity. Yeah, that's good. Now, that part was not a big deal. The next part, I'm going here and duplicate, invert the mask. Now the whole scene is selected, as you can see here. What I can do here in this particular image, I don't want to brighten the background. I just want to brighten the shadows, like so. And then add a little bit of white to that. And last thing that I want to do is adding texture. Now, both the masks are the AI based. What if I want to darken this area? Then we are going to create another mask, and this time I'm going to select the background. Now, see, it selected the background, but not this bright part. So all I need to do is I need to invert the mask. Now this part is selected. That allows me to increase the clarity while I'm here, to increase the texture while I'm here, and going up and drop the exposure. Now, before, after. And I haven't done any other editing in the whole image. That, of course, by adding your touch of editing, that would be a best thing to do. Now, to show how powerful this one is, this is a landscape composition. This one is a portrait composition. Now, if I go back here, if I click on create a preset, I'm going to call it as AI darken sky, because mainly we worked on the sky, and I want to use all of these masks. In this case, I have 3 masks. Create. Now, darken sky is this one. If I go here, then click on darken sky. There we go. Now, if I go here, you notice that although this sky here, although the sky was vertical, Lightroom applied the same thing here. Here is my foreground, and here Lightroom picked up this area. Now, that brings me to the point that I can start editing the way that is suitable for this photo. So I drop the exposure here, I drop the highlight here, and we are done. Before, after. Now, there is no end for how many presets you can create. I have created some of them for myself, but you can create more. In this picture, it's a bright sunny day, and all I want to do is I want to reduce the highlight and open up the shadows. So that is the typical adjustments that I do for my landscape. So I'm going to drop the highlight furthermore, open up shadows furthermore, add a little bit of white, and then I'm going to add texture and a little bit of dehaze and then vibrance. Now I can create a preset for myself by going to create presets. This is not an AI base. That is only uh, the system that I use, the basic editing. I'm going to call it landscape because in most of my landscape photos, this is the adjustments that I apply. What I applied in this photo, I applied the highlights, shadows, clarity, texture, dehaze, and I believe I applied a little bit of vibrance. These are the items that I did for this landscape presets. I create that preset. It should be here, landscape. Now, if I go to the next photo, all I need to do is click on my landscape. So you can see before, after. Now I can come back here and do whatever changes that I want to do, but it is a good starting. Last photo. Again, I'm going to add the landscape here. So here is before, after, before, after. What I need to do here in this picture, all I need to do is I need to drop my exposure furthermore. And I'm done. I hope you enjoyed the Lightroom tip. We do offer Lightroom and Photoshop lessons, private lessons, online or in person. Feel free to contact us to book your first private lessons in Lightroom and Photoshop. Thanks again. This is Ted Kalsar. Stay tuned for our next week Lightroom or Photoshop tips. Thank you.